For more videos, press the subscribe button and also turn on the bell notification to receive the updates directly in your device. Hello friends, I Vikas Nehra welcome you all to our live Linux training for members. This is session number 54 and in this session we will talk about working with SE Linux, and this would be our part 6 of ongoing SE Linux series. So without wasting time, let's get started. Working with SE Linux. In this chapter, we will discuss the following points: installing and updating the SE Linux packages, which log files we use for the SE Linux logs. Then we will talk about the SE Linux main configuration file. Then we will learn how to enable and disable the SE Linux permanently. Then we will talk about the different modes that we use in SE Linux. After that, we will learn how to configure the booleans. Then we will learn how to temporarily and persistently change the directory and files labels. Then we will learn how to override file system labels with the mount command. After that, we will talk about the mounting NFS volumes. Then we will talk about how to preserve SE Linux context when copying or archiving files and directories. So in this chapter, we will cover up these 10 points here. Out of these 10 points, we will cover up the first 6 now in this tutorial, and the remaining 4 we will cover up in the next tutorial. So we will start with the SE Linux packages. SE Linux packages are installed by default unless they are manually excluded during the installation. If performing a minimal installation in text mode, the policy core utils Python and policy core utils -GUI packages are not installed by default. Also, by default, SE Linux run in enforcing mode and SE Linux targeted policy is used. The following SE Linux packages are installed on your system by default. So what are the packages? The first package is policy core utils. Policy core utils provides utilities such as restore con, secon, set files, se module, load policy, and set se bool for operating and managing SE Linux. SE Linux-policy package provides configuration for the SE Linux reference policy. SE Linux-policy-targeted. This package provides the SE Linux targeted policy. libSELinux package provides an API for the SE Linux applications. libSELinux-utils provides the avc stat, get enforce, get se bool, match path con, SE Linux con list, SE Linux defcon, SE Linux enabled, and set enforce utilities. libSELinux-python. This package provides Python bindings for the developing SE Linux applications. The following packages are not installed by default but can be optionally installed by running the dnf install command. And what are the packages? SE Linux-policy-devel. This package provides utilities for creating a custom SE Linux policy and policy modules. It also contains manual pages that describe how to configure SE Linux altogether with various services. SE Linux-policy-mls. This package provides the multi-level security SE Linux policy. SE troubleshoot-server. This package translates denial messages produced when access is denied by SE Linux into detailed description that can be viewed with the SE alert utility also provided in this package. SE Tools-console provides the Traces Technology SE Tools a number of utilities and libraries for analyzing and querying policy, audit log monitoring and reporting, and file context management. The SE Tool package is a meta package for SE Tools. The SE Tools-GUI package provides the Apple and SE Audit utilities. The SE Tool-console package provides the SE Checker, SE Diff, SE Info, SE Search, and FindCon command line utilities. MCS Trans. This package translates levels such as S0-S0: C0.C1023 to a form that is easier to read, such as system low, system high. Policy Core Utils-Python. This package provides utilities such as SE Manage, Audit to Allow, Audit to Why, and chcat for operating and managing SE Linux. Policy Core Utils-GUI. This package provides system-config-SE Linux, a graphical utility for managing SE Linux. Now we will talk about the log files that we use in SE Linux. In Fedora-based distributions, the dbus and audit packages are installed by default unless they are removed from the default package section. The set troubleshoot-server must be installed via DNF. Use the DNF install set troubleshoot command if this package is not installed in your machine. If the audit daemon is running, an SE Linux denial message such as the following will be written to /var/log/audit/audit.log file by default, and here it is. If you will open this file, you can get the information regarding to the denial messages like this. I will show you this on the system as well. So let's go to the system, and there let me execute this command tail var log audit.log, and here it is. You can get this information here. In addition, a message similar to the below one is also written to /var/log/messages file, and you can open this file to see these messages there in /var/log/messages file. Let me show you this on the terminal. Let's go to the terminal, and here I can use cat /var/log/messages, and here I can grab SE Linux. So these are the SE Linux messages which are there in /var/log/messages file. So to see the SE Linux messages, either you can use the audit.log file or you can use /var/log/messages file. In RHEL 8, set troubleshoot D no longer consistently runs as a service. However, it is still used to analyze the AVC messages. Two new programs act as a method to start set troubleshoot when needed. The setdispatch utility runs as a part of the audit subsystem. When an AVC denial message is returned, setdispatch sends a message using dbus. These messages go straight to set troubleshoot D if it is already running. If it is not running, setdispatch starts it automatically. The capplet utility runs in the system toolbar, waiting for the dbus messages in the set troubleshoot D. It launches the notification bubble, allowing the user to review AVC messages. To configure audit D and rsyslog daemon to automatically start at the boot time, you can execute the following command as the root user. You can execute systemctl enable audit d.service and systemctl enable rsyslog.service. Let me show you this on the terminal. Here I can execute systemctl enable audit d.service. So this will be enabled, and we can verify the same by running the systemctl status audit d.service command. Here you can see that the service is up and running and is enabled as well. So it will start automatically at the boot time. And we can do the same for the rsyslog also. So here we can execute systemctl enable rsyslog dot service, and we will verify the status of the same by running the systemctl status command. So you can see that the service is up and running and is enabled as well. Or you can also execute systemctl is hyphen enabled and the service name. So first we will check for the audit d dot service. You can see that the service is enabled, and we can also execute the same command for rsyslog dot service. Here also you can see that the service is enabled. So either we can see it with the help of the systemctl status command, or we can execute systemctl is enabled command for the both. Now we will talk about the main configuration file of SE Linux. The /etc/se/linux/config file is the main SE Linux configuration file. It controls the SE Linux mode and the SE Linux policy to use. If you will execute the cat command to open this file, you can see all the details there. It will show you the SE Linux mode as well as the SE Linux type or the targeted policy. Let me show you this on the terminal. Let me execute this command here on the terminal, cat/etc/se/linux/config. In this file you can see that SE Linux operates in three modes: enforcing, permissive and disabled. In the enforcing mode, SE Linux security policy is enforced and access is denied or allowed on the basis of the policy rules, and all the logs are maintained. In the permissive mode, SE Linux prints warning instead of the enforcing policy and keeps the record in form of logs. And in the disabled mode, no SE Linux policy is used and it does not keep the record as well. And here we can change the mode. After this, SE Linux is equal to option. Here we can either mention enforcing, or we can mention permissive, or we can mention disabled, and it will permanently set the mode in our machine, and it will withstand the system reboot as well. The SE Linux type, it defines the policy. Here it can operate in three modes: targeted, minimum and MLS. In the targeted mode, targeted processes are protected. In minimum, modification of the targeted policy, only selected processes are protected. And in the third mode, multi-level security protection is applied. Now let's understand each one in detail. SE Linux has three modes as I mentioned earlier: enforcing, permissive and disabled. When using the enforcing mode, SE Linux policy is enforced and SE Linux denies access based on the SE Linux policy rules. Denial messages are logged in this mode. When using permissive mode, SE Linux policy is not enforced. SE Linux does not deny access, but denials are logged for actions that would have been denied if running the SE Linux in the enforcing mode. And when using the disabled mode, SE Linux is disabled and only discretionary access control rules are used in this mode, and it does not log the messages as well. SE Linux type is equal to targeted. The SE Linux type option sets the SE Linux policy to use. Targeted policy is the default policy. Only change this option if you want to use the multi-level security policy. Otherwise, we should not change this option. Now I will tell you how can you enable and disable the SE Linux. You can execute get enforce or SE status command to check the status of the SE Linux. The get enforce command returns enforcing, permissive or disabled. The SE status command returns the SE Linux status and the SE Linux policy being used. So if you will execute the SE status command, it will show you everything. Let me show you this on the terminal. If I will execute the get enforce command, it will show us the current SE Linux mode. Here it is showing us the current mode as enforcing, or we can execute the SE status command as well. Here you can see that SE Linux status is enabled and the current mode is enforcing. If we want to change the current mode, we can execute the set enforce command. Set enforce 0 will make the SE Linux permissive. Let me verify the same by running the get enforce command, and let me execute the SE status command as well. And here also you can see that the current mode is permissive, but these changes are not permanent. If we will reboot the machine, in that case it will change the mode to enforcing again. So how can we permanently set the SE Linux mode which can withstand the system reboot? So for that we can open the /etc/SE Linux/config file in VI editor, and here we can change the mode. Let me make it as permissive, and after that I can save this file. Now it can withstand the system reboot because the system reads this file during booting. Let me reboot the machine. My machine has been rebooted, and let me verify the SE Linux status. So let me execute the get enforce command. Here you can see the current mode as permissive. Let me execute the SE status command also. SE Linux status is enabled and the current mode is permissive. And let me verify the file as well. So I can execute cat/etc/SE Linux/config file command, and here you can see the current mode is permissive. So with the help of this option, we can permanently set the SE Linux mode and it will withstand the system reboot as well. In the same way, we can change the SE Linux type as well with the help of this file. Either we can use the targeted policy or we can use the MLS here. If we again want to temporarily enable the SE Linux, we can execute set enforce 1 command, and we can verify the same by running the get enforce command. Here you can see the SE Linux as enforcing, and SE status command also will show you the same thing. But this is not permanent, as I told you earlier as well. To make these changes permanent, you have to make an entry in the /etc/SE Linux/config file. So guys, that's it from my side for today's session. In the next session, we will cover up the remaining 5 points while working with SE Linux. And these points are configuring booleans, changing the files and directory labels, overriding file system labels, mounting NFS volumes, and preserve SE Linux context when copying and archiving files. Hope you will find this session useful for you. If you like it, then do share it with your friends and colleagues. And if you are new on our channel, then please subscribe us and turn on the bell notification. I will see you in the next one. Till then, bye bye. Jai Hind. Vande Mataram. Take care.